Good evening from New York. I'm Alicia Menendez in for Chris Hayes. 24 hours after the unprecedented FBI search of Donald Trump's Florida home, one of his coup-plotting allies in Congress, Republican Scott Perry of Pennsylvania, says he was stopped by 3 federal agents while traveling with his family. According to Perry, the agents presented a search warrant to confiscate his cell phone, which they then did. In a statement, the congressman said, quote, "My phone contains info about my legislative and political activities and personal/private discussions with my wife, family, constituents, and friends. None of this is the government's business." Perry is the head of the far-right House Freedom Caucus, and he has been a major proponent of Trump's big lie. Following the 2020 election, Perry tried to sell the White House on a number of baseless conspiracy theories, including that China hacked voting machines, that the British government collaborated with the CIA to rig the election, and that Italian satellites had manipulated the vote tallies. He also worked with the White House to plan strategies to throw out the results in states Trump lost. Congressman Perry was a key player in the failed scheme to appoint a Department of Justice official named Jeffrey Clark as acting attorney general, so Clark could weaponize the department to help spread Trump's false claims of fraud. In fact, Perry introduced Trump to Clark. It's not every day that a sitting congressman's cell phone is seized by the feds, especially one day after, as Trump put it, the FBI raided his home, although a more accurate term might be, quote, lawfully executed a search warrant. We are learning that federal agents in plain clothes gave advance notice to the Secret Service, President Mar-a-Lago, and provided them with a copy of the warrant before spending most of yesterday searching Trump's offices on the premises, including, as the ex-president told us, breaking into his safe. We now know that the search warrant was related to the federal investigation into missing classified documents that Trump took from the White House. The National Archives, well, they want them back. At the beginning of this year, the Washington Post reported that representatives from the archives retrieved 15 boxes of documents Trump improperly took. But that was apparently not everything, because according to a new report from the Washington Post, DOJ officials, including a counterterrorism head named Jay Bratt, went down to Mar-a-Lago in June to inquire about more documents. Quote, Trump stopped by the meeting as it began to greet the investigators, but was not interviewed. The lawyers showed the federal officials the boxes, and Bratt and the others spent some time looking through the material. A lawyer for Trump said the Justice Department officials commented that they did not believe the storage unit was properly secured, so Trump officials added a lock to the facility. When FBI agents searched the property Monday, they broke through the lock that had been added to the door. According to Trump's lawyer, the FBI removed about a dozen boxes that had been stored in the basement storage area. While the search warrant left by agents was not shared, Trump's lawyer said that it, quote, indicated agents were investigating possible violations of laws dealing with the handling of classified material and the Presidential Records Act. Worth noting just how remarkable it is that there was a warrant at all. In order to obtain a federal search warrant, investigators need to successfully argue that there is probable cause a crime was committed and that evidence of the crime can be found in the location they want to search. It requires the sign-off from 2 branches of government, the executive branch by way of the DOJ and FBI, and the judicial branch, with a judge needing to approve the warrant. And with a case this unprecedented, it likely involved top-level officials at the DOJ, including, potentially, the Attorney General himself. Christina Bobb, that Trump lawyer who spoke to the Washington Post, confirmed the FBI did seize documents from Mar-a-Lago, even as she now tries to argue that the FBI is simply lying about the alleged crime and potentially fabricating evidence.
I don't think that there was actually anything there that's worthwhile. We'll see what they come up with. You know, if they did, it'll be interesting, especially since they precluded me from actually watching what they did. But at this point, I don't necessarily think that they would even go to the extent of trying to plant information. I think they just make stuff up and, you know, come up with whatever they want. And that's the way that they will have to proceed in order to actually try to indict the president, because they don't have anything. There's just nothing there.
Neither Trump nor his attorneys provided any evidence to support that outlandish claim, and there's absolutely no reason to believe it is more than just spin. But given what we are learning, it appears that the troubles do not end there for the twice impeached ex-president.